Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you are doing great today. In today's video, we're going to start talking about backup and recovery. As a DBA, one very important task, one very important responsibility is to protect your database against failure, and then also to be able to recover the database in the event of failure. If you cannot do this simple task of backup and recovery, then I'm sorry to say this, the database administrator career is not for you. Imagine that you run a database or you manage a database and there is a crash and you don't have a backup. You will be fired. So part of your responsibility is to take regular backups of your database and then recover the database in the event of failure. Okay? Now, to get started in this course, we're going to look at some categories of database failure. Okay? Now, we can have things like statement failure. This has to do with a situation where a single database operation fails, maybe a select statement or an insert statement, update or delete statement. Now, this is not the fault of the DBA. However, as a DBA, you need to work with the user, ensure that you correct whatever statement that is causing the failure. Perhaps they are not properly executing their statement, so you need to help them to correct this. Okay, and then another category of failure is a network failure. This also might not be entirely the fault of a DBA. However, you need to check your listener to ensure that it's properly configured and it's up and running. Okay? And then you have user error. Maybe a user tries to complete an operation and then he does so in error, perhaps dropping a table accidentally or entering a bad data. And then the part that concerns a DBA is what we refer to as either instance failure or media failure. In the case of instance failure, sometimes your database will shut down unexpectedly. In cases like that, you need to restart your instance and then try to investigate from the alert log file what actually caused your instance to fail. And then for media failure, we have things like maybe loss of a critical file that is needed for database operation, in which case you will need to perform recovery, right? We are going to see all of this in practical terms as we start our lecture. But then before we dive into the practicals, I like to say this. There are basically two types of backups, okay? We have what is known as hot backup or cold backup. Now, the hot backup is the kind of backup that can be taken while your database is up and running. And for you to take this kind of backup, it means your database must be running in archive log mode. As a matter of fact, any production system, any production database must be running in archive log mode because it guarantees a complete recovery up to the last minute change. So if you have your database running in archive log mode, you can recover up to the last minute change in the event of failure. Now, the other type of backup is what is known as cold backup. Now, this backup type can only be done when the database is running in no archive log mode. Okay, that means you've not enabled archive log mode. The database has to be shut down completely, started in the mount mode, and then backups can be taken. So let me just give you a simple scenario. Maybe you have a backup at, let's say, 10 a.m. and then by 11 a.m., a user accidentally drops a table. If you have your database running in archive log mode, you can recover your database up until the point where the table was dropped, just before the table was dropped, and you have your last minute changes done. Okay? Now, one of the good things that Oracle has done is to provide a utility known as Aruman. And Aruman is a very wonderful tool for backup and recovery. As we go further in this lecture, we will be working with Aruman. That's the recovery manager. So, first things first, in preparing your database for backup, you need to ensure that your database is running in archive log mode, and then you need to set your fast recovery area. Okay, just by way of introduction, let me connect to my database, okay, and then run the command archive log list. Now, this is the command we use to check if our database is running in archive log mode or not. So if I enter and execute this command, you see that automatic archival is disabled. So it means that if I try to back up this database as it's running now, I would receive an error. For instance, let me start the Aruman utility. So this is just an introduction to the Aruman command, Aruman target /. It connects you to the default database. Okay. So at this Aruman prompt now, if I say backup database, you will see that the backup will fail. You see, failure of backup command at so and so time cannot backup database in no archive log mode. You can see that because the database is not running in archive log mode, I cannot take any backup. The only way I can back up this database is if I shut it down, start it up in the mount mode, and then run the backup. But if I place this database in archive log mode, I can back up the database while it is open. So I'm going to exit the Aruman prompt, and then I will connect as the sys user. I want to shut down this database so that I can officially place this database in archive log mode so that we can actually run backups. So I'll issue the command shut down immediate. So now that the database has been shut down, the next thing I want to do is to mount the database. So I'm starting up the database in mount mode. Start up mount. And then I'm going to use the command alter database archive log. You can see database has been altered. So right now the database is running in archive log mode. After this, I'm going to use the command alter database open. Now the database is open. If you run a multi-tenant environment, you can open your pluggable databases. And then for that, you run the command alter pluggable database all open. But I am not going to run this command because I don't want to open all of my pluggable databases. Okay, so the next thing we want to try to do is to confirm if truly our database is running in archive log mode. So for that, I'm going to run the command again, archive log lists. Wow, you can see now that automatic archival is enabled. So congratulations, you just placed your database in archive log mode. In our subsequent lectures, we're going to look at a whole lot of backup and recovery scenarios. So guys, thank you for watching this video. I hope it was interesting to you. If it was, please like it and share it widely. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss out whenever I upload another valuable content. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye for now.